Hello and welcome folks to another modern stream. Today we have something very special. Levi, yes, Leviathan 102, the man of the hour, managed to qualify for the PT in an over 400 people PTQ this past weekend. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be trying out the list that he played to win it all and take it home. Congratulations, Levi. And yeah, if you're enjoying the content, of course, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and you can access a lot more videos like this one. Of course, leave me your comments down below if this is something that you are enjoying. Jeff Cat, best streamer confirmed. Thank you so much, Jeff Cat, for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold once again. Okay, so talking about the list. Number 1, Fancy Bujuku Bog. Hell yeah. I've been playing some Time Spiral Remastered, and the format is super fun. Strongly recommended. All right, sweet. Talking about the list. It's super clean. I really like it. I really like everything that we have going on. We have 4 Stasis main deck, 1 of Gracer. The rest of the suite is pretty much straightforward. 4 Dryads, 3 Asusas, 4 Primetime, the 1 of Fun of Turn Timber Symbiosis. And the metabase, at this point, it feels like it's pretty much written in stone. The only cards that at this point I am considering the flex slots in the metabase would be the Kalni Garden, and that's kind of about it. Maybe you want to put Bujukibong in the sideboard under certain circumstances, but besides that, you know, the 1 of Ghost Squatter, the 3-on-1 split between Silencious Sanctuary and Garul Turf, all of this just makes a lot of sense to me. 1 fetch land, you could have a second one, but like whatever. The sideboard includes Dismembers, the 1 of Pact of Negation, triple Dismember, by the way. A couple of Gracers, which I think was a pretty cool innovation. It was originally brought up by Will Pulliam. So the idea is that in certain matchups where Stacy is bad, you can just cut your Stasis and then you just bring in Arboreal Gracers, like against Prowess, against Burn, stuff like that. You just bring in Arboreal Gracers and you remain with a bunch of 1-drops, which is what you want to do in those matchups anyway. So you don't cost yourself a lot in that aspect, but you get access to the better 1-drop, quote unquote, in those specific matchups. Then we have Triple Tracker, Force of Vigor, Reclamation Sage, couple of Engineered Explosives, second Radiant Fountain in the sideboard, and Kozilek instead of Emberpool. Not really any difference between the two of them. The only very minor thing is that if the idea is to make the thing where you have an out to life gain against Heliod, your opponent can actually stop Kozilek as an out to that by pathing it. So your opponent cannot path Emberpool, but they actually can path Kozilek. So that's the only thing. Also, if you're trying to deck your opponent and drawing 4 cards, you know, doesn't really help you very much in that aspect. In fact, it might actually deck you. So I don't know. I'm not. This is the only thing that. Kozilek is just easier to cast versus control. If it was paper, I would play Emberpool. I don't bring in Kozilek versus Heliod. Okay, so then you are just like ignoring that aspect. Okay, sure. I mean that makes sense. I just probably don't think that you really need Kozilek against control, and you already have Triple Tracker. So in that aspect, it seems like a little bit redundant. So maybe I would err towards playing a 1 of Emberpool instead, because it has that other aspect to it. But it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Super clean list. And of course, Levi taking the entire event down with this list. So we're going to try it through a league, see how everything feels, and I'll see you there. All right, welcome to round number 1. This hand is just bad. Ugh, yikes. This hand is just perfect. Yay. We're gonna ship the Vesuva because we actually need the Stronghold, so we can play turn 1 AmuLIT. So Stronghold, turn 1 AmuLIT, turn 2 Dryad into Castle. Looking good. Why are Eldrazi playable in the sideboard? Because Mill is a fine deck, and because of, as we were saying Wait a second. Green, green. That's awkward. We're 1 mana short of doing the thing here. Very unfortunate. Just gonna pass here. What was I saying? Oh, the Eldrazi, yeah. Because you can... God damn it. Because you can prevent yourself from milling against the best deck in the format. So you have an out to... Infinite Life. Abriel Bay with a tier 1 sub. 11 months of support. Thank you so much, Abriel. Welcome back. You know what? If you 4-1 or 5-0 this league, I'll buy you the time spiral triumph times. Alright, our PCK sounds good. Oh wow, so we're super dead now. Not looking like a great start so far. Wow. This hand was supposed to be good. Though I guess if we find the bounce line off the top, we just win, so that's cool. Let's just move on to the next one. We can't just beat the Croxa. Okay, so probably want trackers here. I don't think I really want explosives. I'm assuming my opponent has access to Blood Moon. Maybe they don't, but I'd rather hedge. Stacy's can probably go, but I probably want 1 or 2 Gracers. Could do something like this. List bad, Levi rigged PTQ. Yeah, exactly. Even though I at most of the numbers by myself, the only difference my list and process was the Eldrazi choice. That's funny. Great minds think alike, etc., right? Yep. I mean, these guns are pretty solid if I get to do my thing, but my opponent seems to be on a very, very heavy discard spell deck. I think Spike was messing around with a deck like that with unearths and stuff. Gross. Every time I tune in and see hands like this, it makes me want to get back into it. I mean, I honestly don't know why you don't. Azusa is what they take. Which is the correct take, probably. But I'm going to explore here. I think it's more important for me to put more lands into play than to play this tracker. We can play the tracker next turn and crack the clue immediately. Alright. The restyled Moto and have been doing vintage cubes, just a matter of time before I start playing some modern. Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's a good time to be playing modern, to be honest. Well, we just have to do this. And if my opponent has a freaking Skelemental, we're super dead. Oh. We're just gonna get Blood Moon, I guess. Yep. Yep. Sometimes it's just not meant to be, you know? Sometimes it's just not meant to be. Bold Face to feed the Croxa. Makes sense. Holding cards in hand because lands in the battlefield don't matter at all until I find a basic forest. So I'm just going to hold cards in hand so I can pitch nonsense to Skelemental. That sucks, because that's the last card that they needed for Croxa. Now we're just gonna die to the Croxa. Took the Summoner's Pact, smart. We don't have answers to Croxa. Not looking great. Not looking great. We still have to 4-1 though. We can still 4-1 to get my old frame prime times. Alright. Not alright. Let's play that one. So if I find another basic forest, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm one off of Dryad being an out. I mean, I guess I could just find a pact, right? If I find a pact, I just win. So all I have to find is just a pact, a Summoner's Pact, or a Rex Sage, and we just win. Pact Rex Sage? Never mind. Never mind. JK, JK. See you for the next round. Hey, Torborg, how's it going? The Tactical X1 start to get into the easy bracket. Oh yeah, it's worked out for me before. That's a tried and true strategy. Let's see what we're playing against here. What do you got going on, opponent? Ketria Triumph. Ketria. This is really awkward. I think we're doing this. I'm assuming my opponent is on some form of control deck. Arid Mesa. Well, that's not what I was expecting to see. What do you do about this, opponent? What are you going to do about my Explore? What are you going to do about my Explore? That's real nice. So I guess I'm going to say Dryad. I'll play a second AmuLIT. Vashel, brand new subscriber. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Vashel. Thanks for being here. Out of all the things that I was expecting my opponents to do there, Spell Pierce was not on the list. Spell Pierce, not on the list. Teferi. Interesting. So now that we have that going already, I think I'm going to play around Force of Negation. And the way to play around Force is to do this. Because if I play the AmuLIT and my opponent counters it with a Force, then we get time walked. We don't put a Dryad into play, my opponent gets to untap and do their nonsense. So I think that it's a lot better for us to do the things like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my opponent needs to answer the AmuLIT and the Dryad to prevent me from tightening here. Doesn't seem particularly possible for them to do that. What's up, Scott? How's it going? What are we doing here? We have a second T-Wist. We have a T-Wist in hand, so... Si a ti, mi hermano, soy nuevo con el equipo, estoy aprendiendo mucho. Ah, pero por supuesto. Bienvenido al stream entonces, Bashel. Bolt. Okay. Is this another lightning bolt? Another lightning bolt. Okay. So this looks good for us now. So we play Growth Chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we leave white floating. Yeah. But I want to have another blue source in play. Because that eases my... Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Whoops. Because my idea was to... Yikes. Annoying because that means that we can't... Damn it. We can't haste now. Okay, so now that I made a mistake, obviously, like, I literally did the thing because I was expecting to do it like so, but... It happens sometimes, I guess. I'm gonna go get a Summoner's Pact. I think we're still in very fine shape. No, the idea was to leave white floating, then get Valakut plus Stronghold, and then just win from there. Great. So even if they have an instant speed polymorph like an Emrakul, we just win anyway. This is just lethal, however you want to slice it. Yeah. Slight mistake there, but it's fine. I think I want Stasis in this matchup. We can play the explosives on 0 in order to stop my opponent from Emrakuling. I don't know how reliable that is though. I kind of want the 1 because they might have Ashiok. But I don't think I want Tracker because this might look like it's a grinding matchup, but usually against decks like Escape Shift or stuff like that, decks that can just kill you, you don't want... like, Tracker is just slow. You just need to tighten. What's the idea behind Co-Select versus over Emrakul? That you can hardcast it a lot easier. That is the idea. Sounds awful. The Bojuki Bog looks really nice though. Sand is better. My opponent cannot be playing Bloodmoon by design, so I'm just gonna keep, and I guess I'm just gonna bottom the Radiant Fountain. Arcto, thank you for the follow. Spell Pierce, this is what my opponent had last game. Have I just seen this card in my opening hand every single game so far this sleeve? Pitching Polymorph. No second land drop. What did they keep if they kept a no-lander? Stomping Ground. Growth Spiral? Oh, Ren. Such a weird list that my opponent's playing over there. I think we're pacting for Dryad here. Seems like they can't Cryptic me. This also plays around Cleansing Wildfire and Damping Sphere. And like, I'm not gonna be able to beat my opponent if I don't have a Dryad in play, basically. So I'm gonna be taking this turn off in order to get the Dryad in play, and then next turn I can hopefully play a Titan. No white, so they can't Teferi. All right. Yep. You got me. I don't think I was ever supposed to be playing around Beast Within. My opponent showed me Ren though, so I guess I'm not into this Scouts. Beast Within. So it's probably safe to assume that there's just nothing that's logical about my opponent's deck. I think I'm keeping this hand. It's definitely a sketcher, but I guess I should have Grayster. I should have Grayster on one because I can draw a 3-drop here. I mean, my line was the correct line anyway. I'm never supposed to play around Beast Within there, right? In fact, if this in this game, if I were asked the same question, I would do it again. Like if I were in a situation like exactly the same as last game, and I knew about the Beast Within, I would go for it again. I think it was just the right thing to do. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, but it was the right thing to do, 100%. So we're gonna get a Breeding Pool here. And I think I'm playing Bog right now. And next turn we can play an Uncounterable Titan. Alright, this card looks gorgeous. I'm super into the old frame cards. It's just good deck building on their part. Yeah, exactly. Why is their deck playing Ren and 6 though? Like, that card makes no sense. It's just such a weird card to play in that deck. Like, your mana base has to be a nightmare. There's no way that their mana base is not just an absolute nightmare. Show me that later, Gust, baby. No, they're just a Polymorph deck. Why Sinwing Gracer? Yeah, just for the memes. They're gonna beast within me? Oh, that's great. Alright, so we're definitely getting T-West. And we already have 2 blue sources. We don't have red and white though. Just get a Valakut. Do they just not have a Transmogrify or Polymorph or whatever? I guess they just don't have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana. They could have blown up my land too, and they didn't. Not sure how I feel about that. The nice thing is that I'm feeling pretty safe from Emrakul here, even. Sure. We don't have fetch on anymore, which is a problem. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this an Aether Gust now? Gonna Beast Within again. Yeah, I don't know about that strategy. I don't know about that strategy. Seems like we're gonna get to a point where it'll start backfiring. But that's just me. I don't know. What do I know? What do I know, right? We can play another bounce here with the Vesuva. That lets me... just lets me bounce the other T-West. Yeah, that's just the line. So my opponent has a Wooded Foothills in hand. I mean, we do have them on a 2-turn clock. Plan to review your matches tomorrow. Nice. That's no problem. Do I have a Discord? Great question. Yes, I do. You can find it right there. Through the breach. What's going on here? Shark Typhoon? Electro Dominance. Okay. Holy shit. One, two, three. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess that we do get to five of them here. Transmute. Summoner Spect. Summoner Spect. Prime time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still have a land drop to give. We can't protect ourselves from double lightning bolt. So if my opponent has double bolt, that's it. What we can do is we can do this. That gives us more green sources. Then we have enough to go to Smith for Dry and Transmute for Titan. We didn't have in that turn because we didn't have double. We were missing 3 mana, I think. Annihilator 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to pay for Pact. 1, 2, 3 to transmute. Take 15. They have another Emrakul. Okay. One, two, three, four. Yep. Transmute for Dryad, play Dryad, attack with Titan. GG's. See you for the next round. Welcome to round number 3. Currently 1-1. Lots on the line here. If I manage to 4-1 or better, I will win a playset of old the old frame prime time. So keep these hands coming. Keep them coming. Scan's obviously great turn 1 AmuLIT, turn 2 we can assign to explore, set up to transmute for Tulare West, play Titan on turn 3. Pretty cool. Red-black Skelemental, yep. That was rough. Lost round 1 versus red-black Skelemental Croxa nonsense. And then we won against 4-color, the full 4-color, and it was what's the name of the card? A Transmogrify, like Polymorph stuff. On section event, yeah, you're not kidding. Modific matchup kind of lopsided. Yeah, it's very close to unwinnable. No, they were not playing Omnath. Like they can't play Omnath, right? Because then they would Transmogrify into Omnath. You got turn 2 like a pro. Well, speaking of turn 2s, I should have like Julian. I don't know if you folks have ever watched Julian. It's Julian on Twitch, sorry. And he is like an insane elves player, legacy elves. And whenever he casts glimpse, he has in the soundboard he has the he has that. So whenever yeah, the William Tell overture, exactly. So whenever he's going off, it's like that music in the background. So we should have that going whenever I get the turn 2 kill here. I love how my opponent is just like scrying and trying to maximize their chances for next turn. And they're like, yeah, so if I do this here, this is gonna be optimal and it's gonna allow me to do this other thing next turn. It's just like, you're a good opponent, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, opponent. You're not gonna have a next turn. Fortunately for us, redundant Azusa doesn't do anything. How unlucky is that? Right? Super unlucky. So the only unfortunate thing is that we actually cannot really go for the kill. Oh, never mind, we actually can. Because, what I was thinking there is that maybe my opponent can have a 0-mana spell, which means that they can just chump block. But I have this mana untapped, so what I can do here is we just haste there, I bounce my Stronghold, move to combat. Oh no, never mind. No, we can't. We can't go for the kill. No, I was 1 mana short of playing a second Titan. I was exactly 1 mana short of a second Titan. Yeah, that's exactly. If they mutagenic growth, we lose. Uh-huh. So that's exactly what I'm thinking about. If that scout was a Grazer, you had a second Titan. Yep. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna not kill them. I'm just gonna go to Luria West and like a Colony Garden. It's kind of whatever. I just need a green source to make sure that I can not die, and then we'll take it from there. We already have another Titan set up for next turn. My opponent needs to kill my Azusa and my Stacy and my Titan or my Amulets, and I have another Azusa and another bounce. Yeah, this is we're done here. I was turn Timber Bean in this aggro meta. That's just pretty much damage come up a lot. Is that where you're on 1? Yes and no. Like it's been fine. Like the one-off is perfectly fine, but I don't think you kind of ever want that many. Okay, this is when we do the very smart strategy of cutting those cards and adding these cards. Look at how smart that is. Um, this member is interested in this matchup. I think it's worth it. But honestly, it's kind of sketch at the same time. They do end up saving more damage than the damage that you're taking, and also answering Stormwing Entity tends to be a big deal. On the draw, maybe I'll take a couple of those. Yeah, Stormwing is the big one. We can just, like, ignore Blood Moon, too. I'll just ignore Blood Moon. I don't think I want to cut second Azusa. Not in a matchup that matters about such a small amount of turns, basically. Okay, so any green bounce land just gives me a Titan on turn 3. So I'm just going to keep this hand. We have 8 draws towards the turn 3 Titan. Sounds reasonable to me. I noticed I was going down to 1 assist in a lot of matchups, maybe too much. I think that people tend, overall, people really tend to sideboard out Azuzas in situations where you shouldn't. Like in aggressive matchups, that's where I want Azusa the most, right? Like, I know that she dies to, like, even, like, Wild Slash or whatever. But that's not a big deal when it's making you Titan 1 turn ahead, right? Bounce Land or Gracer would be great. Either one of those would be awesome. Dryad, not so much. It just doesn't really line up well with my curve, unfortunately. The good thing is that it's probably going to save me a couple of life because they're just going to kill it. Spike coming back with a tier 1 sub for the full year. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Oh, and with the raid. God damn. The 1-2 punch. The subscription into massive raid. You love to see it. Thank you so much, Spike. Welcome everybody from Spike's stream. We're playing some AmuLIT today, as we often do on Mondays in this channel. The Giant Hobbit, thank you for the follow. We play a lot of AmuLIT here. We do some other stuff as well. Junder Down Under and Nordu, all of you, thank you for the follows. We play a lot of AmuLIT in this channel. We try to brew decks that use lands, Elvish Reclaimer. I will leave you guys with Fran. Oh, he's getting prowessed. I am getting prowessed. I'm up a game though. It's just a matter of luck sucking a great hand. We turned 2'd my opponent in game 1, so took Nitai, thank you for the follow. How did the inverter deck do? Oh, we just did. Alright, that's a lot of damage. Bounce land? JHGW, thank you for the follow. There is a line here, folks, which I'm trying to find. There is a line here. So we can swing for 6. I think we can lethal my opponent right now. So we cast Titan, play Titan. We get Boros Garrison plus Vesuva. Vesuva copies Stronghold. +2/+0, we attack. We swing for 6. On combat, we get Bounce Land plus Valakut. Then we bounce something else. We play Dryad. We play Fetch Land. That is 3 damage. Oh no, we play second. Yeah, this is just... Man, I'm so smart. I am so smart. Honestly, it's kind of unfair for me to be this smart, because it makes it really hard for other people to win. Look at this. Like, this line is why I love AmuLIT so much. Okay, so check this out. We're gonna Vesuva this. In case you're wondering, but Francisco, how is it possible that you've been playing AmuLIT for 6 or 7 years and you're still super into it? Like, how do you do it? Why is it so exciting for you? Let me tell you a thing or two. Let me tell you a thing or two about AmuLIT. Let me tell you a thing or two about AmuLIT. AmuLIT is freaking sweet. Honestly, it's kind of unfortunate that we're just killing my opponent here instead of, because I really wanted to pact for Gracer to trigger a couple more times. It's honestly unfortunate, but that we, you know, that we just killed them here. Man, maybe I should have punted on purpose just so I could make an even sweeter line, but it is what it is. Anyway, see you for the next round. Round number 4. Bad hand. Bad hand. Actually, it's not that bad, but like the fact that you don't have like your a redundant green source means that we only get to cast one of these 3. If this were a basic forest or colony garden, whatever, like anything that gives me more than green mana once, I would consider keeping this hand, but as is, we have to ship it. And this one is a lot better, so we can send Gracer. It's bad if we're playing against an aggressive deck, but in the blind, I'd rather keep the card that's the more powerful. Beautiful Natty Bog, though. You gotta love the Natty Bog. Opponent has the turn 3 Tron. So here you want to explore first, because if we find an AmuLIT, it's actually better for us to hold on to the Semi-Growth Chamber in hand. Also, of note, you cannot play this land with Stacy or with Gracer. You can play it with like Dryad and stuff, but you can't actually play the land with the things that say put a land from your hand, because it's not a land while it's in your hand. Wait. My opponent got another power plant. So, I think it's correct for me to play the Semi-Growth Chamber here. We get punished if we draw exactly AmuLIT of Vigor. I'm better than that, though. I am just so much better than that. I am so much better than that. And here you might think, oh, but like you get Ghost Squatter, but it enters untapped. Well, let me tell you something. And this is why Stacy is great. Missing Stacy, yes. Like this, all of the stuff that we just did would have not been possible with Gracer. Like we would have gotten completely destroyed by if we had Gracer. Like we top decked the Dryad, so I guess that in that sense maybe the Dryad would have saved us, but like it would have been a lot worse. So against Tron, we want Pact, we want Force of Vigor, and we want Reclamation Sage. But Jukibok can go, we don't want explosives. What else do we want? What's good and what's bad against Tron? The problem is, like, our deck is just so good against Tron overall. Like, you're kind of in a situation where you're like, well, this card is great against Tron, but like this card is also great against Tron, but this card is also great against Tron. Is Mail back in the menu? I don't know. Twitch is not big enough for France brain. Opponent keeps 6. So my favorite thing about this hand is that it's super cute, right? Like, my opponent goes turn 1 expedition map and we get to force it. Like, it's just so cute. It's probably not good for us to keep this hand. We can do better than this. The meme value, though, the meme value was through the roof. The meme potential that hand had was whew, through the roof. Eesh. Opponent keeps 6. I think we need to do better than this. We need to certainly do better than that. Blech. All right. Stacy's gonna need to do some heavy lifting here. Stacy is gonna have to do some real heavy lifting. I actually think that if we top deck an AmuLIT, we may be in okay shape. Ha, look at that, my opponent with the good art Sylvan Scrying. Love to see it. I was playing House of Men. I was playing when Raminab dislike. Well, I mean, Raminab is overall a good card. I actually was on Raminab for a while. The thing is that in my testing, Raminab was just consistently unnecessary. Is that a thing I can say? Is that something that makes sense for me to say? I'm just gonna go for this. So there's 2 ways to go about this. Way number 1 would be to play Castle, so that then on my turn we can use Sanctuary and both of these blue manas to transmit for prime time. The other way, which is what I'm gonna be doing here, which maybe is worse. That sucks. Is to, well, I guess now we're just gonna do this. Because if we had found an AmuLIT, we would have gotten punished there. I don't think there's that many things. Like, if my opponent has anything reasonable, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble here. And the 1 point of damage, I don't think it's as much as to us bluff, as valuable as bluffing another bounce land. How many deserts do you have to run to make Raminab work? I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Opponent's gonna -3 here. They are. So stopping them from having Tron doesn't make too much sense when they have Expedition map in play. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to maximize on the power level of my Primeval Titans. So I really want to be able to transmute this, so I guess I'm not gonna be able to haste future Titans. but I'm gonna be able to double strike them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this lands, because I really need the second blue. Not gonna show them this the Sun Home for now. Karn is problematic. O-Stone is annoying, but not really problematic because O-Stone kills their Ugin as well. And Ulamog is unbeatable. Wormcoil is irrelevant. Blast Zone? What? Wait, what? Okay. I can work with this. The one thing that's interesting now is that we actually get to take my opponent off of Tron because they got a Blast Zone for whatever reason. Wolverine86, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Apologize for the stream disappearing for a second there, but my internet did not feel like cooperating. I think I'm just gonna take them off Tron. I think I'm just gonna spend this turn to take them off Tron. And I want a second blue source because I want to play around my opponent, getting rid of one of my blue sources. I'm definitely gonna hold on to this Sun Home though, because if I hold on to the Sun Home, I can pitch it to a Karn Plus, which is not very likely, but it may happen. So just pass and draw step. What do we blow up? Probably the tower. I think that's the one that they searched for earlier with the Sylvan Scrying. Wow, my opponent really is going back to... Like, their plan really is to Blast Zone on 6. Alright, that Ghost Quarter was completely irrelevant, I guess. So hopefully this will be lethal. Asusa, of course, is feeling frisky. So this is going to be 12. My opponent's going to be at 6. So I guess what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hedge a little bit. Because if my opponent has an answer for the Dryad, then they kind of blow me out. I'm so smart! How can I be this good? God damn it. It's unfair. It's just unfair. Because I still have lethal, right? But my opponent has an answer to the Dryad. But what this does is now a bounce land just gives me a Titan. So it just makes so many more of my top decks a lot better. And now I'm just gonna hold to the turn Timber because it's another spin for a prime time. But if my opponent didn't have the Nature's Claim, we were still fine because I had the Symbiosis that I can play on my second main to trigger for the last point of lethal. Stop bragging about how good you are before the internet drops out again. Yeah, I guess I should probably bring it down. They screwed up the Boston action. It's not gonna matter. They did screw up the activation for sure, but like I don't think it's gonna come down to that. One, two, three, four. So we didn't find a bounce land, but we can still spin into something good. So I'm just gonna turn Timber. It's not something good. So this clears, this doesn't clear the card, I guess, but like it means that they can't just minus. Yeah, thick Stacy for real, right? Spike you, thank you for that follow. Great name. All right. Opponent -6s. Okay, now we might actually be in trouble. I can kill Karn, but then Ugin becomes a problem. We have to transmute for Summoner's Pact here. We have Valakut. Colony Garden plus later Stronghold gets under the bridge, but it doesn't really take me anywhere. So I think I'm just gonna Dryad, and I'm just gonna... We're gonna kill one of the walkers. I think I have to kill the Karn though. If they have another Nature's Claim, we're just dead, but yeah. That's just too much. I think we had to do that. The other option would have been to just do nothing, but like we cannot beat the Nature's Claim. We cannot really beat the Nature's Claim. I mean, this was a mult to 5, right? I gave myself the best shot at winning this game. My opponent had one card too many for us to beat. Ballista is just good enough because my only outs is to Dryad, right? And the Ballista just takes care of the Dryad before I get to do anything. All right, game number 3. Basil Bay, I think we'll follow. Yep, it's just like a good setup. Bad hand is bad. We're gonna ship it. Interesting hand. We still have the issue with the green sources, but we have Ghost Quarter plus Vesuva. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. We need more cards though, so I'm going to hold on to this Explorer as opposed to the Pact. Please play a Forest. They don't play a Forest, chat. I could have just like Ghost Quarter and then use this to copy the Forest, but all right, this seems good to me actually. Chapman24, brand new subscriber with the Prime sub. Welcome to the Prime Time Stronghold. Thank you for the support. I think we're just doing this. We only need one green source. We only need one green source, and then Dryad just fixes everything for us. Ding. Slowing them down is priority number one. If they have baby Karn, that could be a problem, but it's not really that bad. They do have baby Karn. Okay, so I think we Dryad. And I'm not gonna go squatter them here. My opponent can play coding, blow up my any land. It doesn't matter, we just castle and kill them. Ugh, brutal. Karn plus coding may be a little bit too much. I think we're out now. We're 1 minute short. That dirty ginger with a tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Yeah, the double Stone Rain, it's a little bit too much. And we trying to think, how do we get out of this? I guess we can. So we have to luck sack. We have to luck sack AmuLIT into green bounce land. If we find exactly AmuLIT into green bounce land, or I guess like a green bounce land into AmuLIT, like they're pretty much interchangeable, then we can win. But I think we're gonna have like one turn to get there. Like we don't really have that much time. And if they have literally anything else, we're in trouble. Yeah, okay. Brutal. Feels bad. All right, see you for the next round. All right, time for the last match of the league. Keep. Sketchy hand though, super sketchy. We do have a redraw though, and this hand is pretty good against aggressive strategies. After the first league, I put a single disc corner. That's just confirmation bias, right? Like that's results oriented thinking though, Bracer. Like you shouldn't build your deck because of what happened in the previous league, because that's just not really an accurate representation of the real state of the metagame. Like you just hit a league, you just hit a couple of leagues where there was a lot of Tron. Bone Daddy with the 2-1 sub, 10 months of support. Hope you're having a great day. Best of luck tonight. Hope chat are all doing well. I'm doing great. I hope the chat is doing great as well. Back-to-back Trons though. I am going to expose the bounce land because I feel like we kind of have to, unfortunately, because I can't have my opponent destroy one of my green sources. AmuLIT. I think I'm going to play Gruul Turf here. And then I'm going to play Valakut. Does it allow me to Dryad plus Explore? Next turn we go land. Land, no it doesn't. So because it doesn't, then I'd rather just have more resources in place. So I'm just gonna castle. My company deck is fucking awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, I've been having some good times with that deck. Natty Tron, of course, of course. Yes. Every single time a Tron player goes turn 3 Tron into Wormcoil, everybody everywhere goes, yes. So I guess we Azusa here. And we just play all of my lands. Next turn, Dryad gets to clear the board. Can I dono for a League of Versatile Legacy today? Bryce, I'm gonna... You can make the dono today for sure. And I will make sure that I can accommodate the day. Like I want to make sure that whenever I do a dono list, that whoever made the dono is there to watch, obviously. But I'm probably not gonna be able to play it today. 1, 2, 3, 4. That sucks. I'm gonna get God by Condescend here. I guess I can just not play into Condescend. PM you on Discord? Yeah, for sure. Sounds good, Bryce. Thank you. So we're playing against Blue Tron. You don't see Mono Blue Tron every day. Have a name for your baby Titan? Why? It doesn't even play prime time. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to have my opponent tap out. Like if they want to replay, if they're going to redraw the Wormcoil, that just taps them out for the turn. I could just jam a Titan here. But I think I'm doing like a fine job making my opponent's Condescends bad, so... It's bad against Remand though. It's real bad against Remand. Pray for no Sundering Titan. We probably can't beat Sundering Titan, right? So it's fine. They also have one off, and they didn't like cantrip at all. If they just have a Sundering Titan, they just have a Sundering Titan. It's kind of whatever. It is what it is. But if we find a cavern, we just win. Here I'm gonna play around Walking Ballista. Like there's no need for me to block the worm. It looks like a free block, but it makes... Like if they want to kill my Dryad with a Ballista, they need to tap out and then I get to resolve Titan, so... All right, this kind of worked out. 1, 2, 3, 4, castle, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my opponent can make me condescend for 5. It's not bad. If they have remand, that sucks. But if they have condescend, we have enough to pay. And they haven't had an answer to the Dryad so far, so I guess I can just haste though. Yeah, I'm just gonna haste. Opponent has not had an answer to the Dryad, so they also can't really have an answer to the prime time. Not for this amount of mana. They can't repeal. White, red, haste. If they had Stifle Bird, they would have already used it, and this is just lethal. Sweet. Now Cavern doesn't do anything. Like what I have already wins. Rex Sage Force. Explosives doesn't do anything. Radiant Fountains kind of sketch. There's an argument for Tireless Tracker. I don't think I buy it. This is fine. What do the 3 trackers come in versus? Any control deck. Any control deck. Like even in this matchup, the trackers are fine. It's just not really what I'm into, I don't think. Untap land or bounce land. Untap land. The best untap land. Awesome. Think with Suva, copy Valakut plus bounce land, pick up, replay lands was 9 shots total, I think. Yep. But attacking with a Titan is also lethal, and it gives me way more lands in play, which makes my next turn significantly better. This is bait, by the way. My opponent can feel very smart about condescending my AmuLIT. And I think I'm YOLOing here. Opponent went bottom top. But now this coming turn I get to castle and I get to explore twice. And if I find a bounce land, we probably just win. Okay. So if we find a bounce land, yikes. Explore. Bounce land. Damn it. I guess I can steal Titan next turn. So This may be a blessing in disguise. Maybe my opponent will blast zone to blow up my amulets, and then we get him. Explore twice, Amanda Bertoncini. Oh, remember Bertoncini? Those were some times. Those were some times. Yeah, this is like the best case scenario for us. My opponent basically gave me a free stone rain. They are not even remotely close to Tron. Game is just over. We have a couple of options here. I can start trying to set up. I could Valak it. I think we're gonna just do this. Bounce here. Just protecting Cavern. Swing with plant for value. We were soft to force. Well, we can't really play around it, right? The way to play around it is to time walk myself, which I'm not really willing to do. And I don't think I should be playing around force from Mono Blue Tron, really. Pay for Pact. Don't mind if I do. I didn't really need that, but since it showed up, that's fine. Because I was gonna get Bounce Land plus Ghost Quarter, so I as to prevent my opponent from being able to have a big turn next turn, and like this just makes it so I can have a big turn this turn and next turn. So this just makes things a lot easier. So I'm just gonna go squatter one of their lands. There's no need for me to go squatter both of them. And I can get a Valakut. I guess if I wanted, I could transmute this turn. Yeah, sure. Let's just mute this turn. We can even transmute for the blue pact. Like, my opponent can't beat my board, let alone what I can do next turn. So I'm just gonna go with a blue pact here. This should lock it up. I guess technically they could have Chalice. Chalice for 0 would be mildly annoying. And I guess it's better to do this on their draw step because it means that they're gonna have one less mana basically. Sweet. Alright, we got a 3 and 2. We got a little bit unlucky there. With the pairing round 1, I don't think there was too much that we could have done, really. The pairing round 1 was just an absolute disaster. Nightmare matchup. And then against Big Tron, we just got a little bit unlucky. We mulliganed a little bit too much. We lost to Green Tron and we lost to Red-Black Skelemental mid-range mono discard. This list is pretty good, though. The Gracer plan is interesting. I feel like one Baloth wouldn't be terrible. Like, the third tracker seems a little bit redundant to me. So a Baloth wouldn't really suck against me. Like, tracker is... Like, you would bring it in against John and you're overall happy to draw it. But, like, you're probably always... much happier to draw a Baloth than a Tireless Tracker because Baloth effectively blanks or makes Liliana really, really awkward for your opponent. And Liliana's one of your best cards in the matchup. Of course, that tracker is significantly better in the control decks, but if we're already playing co-select for the control decks, then that's like yet one more reason why tracker seems redundant to me. So that's definitely an argument for playing Bailoff over tracker, and that is, I think, what I would be doing, just like 2 trackers and 1 Bailoff. But the Gracer in the sideboard strategy is pretty nice. I enjoyed this league. I did like it a fair amount. We could do, if you really wanted to, you could go for 3 Gracers and like 2 Scouts or something like that. I think that's like going halfway, and that doesn't really make that much sense. But yeah, Pact of Negation is the other card that I'm just honestly not in love with. Like, it's fine. It's definitely playable. Like, it always is playable, but it just seems lackluster is the word that I would use. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this league though. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Like and subscribe.